In a world of uncertainty,
River's jizzing in his pants, and then you bring up your wife in the next sentence. Like, I know where we're going. What is going on?
there is only one place you can turn for fair dinkum advice.
1 word, unbelievable. 2 words, holy shit. 3 words, oh my god.
A place where the undeniably American
It sounds so weird in like an Australian accent.
meets the undeniably Aussie.
Hey, let's stop the foreskinning for some absolutely wonderful segments later.
Where the analysis is solid
I, for one, was not one of those haters, as I picked a Rams victory.
Look, I think he can get over 150 yards in this game, easily.
Kick his ass, Taylor Bass!
and everything else is out to kill you.
There's going to be shrinking nutsacks all over the place.
Welcome to the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
G'day and welcome to the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. You know me, Matty C's my name, and I'm the host of the show. I'm going to do things a little differently tonight, so just bear with me for these first couple of minutes. I want to start by just helping you find us everywhere you can. For those of you who are lucky enough to look at this stunning face on YouTube, you've clearly found us at Aussie NFL Fantasy there. And if you haven't, well, good luck for the first couple of minutes. The rest of the show gets better. So if you can stomach this bit, perfect. But you can also find us on all podcast apps at Aussie NFL Fantasy. You don't even need to get to the part where you type in NFL. You get to the end and we pop straight up on almost all of them. We're on Instagram and TikTok where we are posting every day and sometimes multiple times a day. At least Manjot and I are pulling some weight there. I think everyone should at Taylor and get him doing a bit more there at Taylor41. Anyway, we are at Aussie NFL Fantasy there. You can email us, and I think it's a good time of year to do this too at any of these sites, is give us your mock drafts, show us your teams. When you do start drafting for real, show us your teams. It'll give us a chance to give you all a little bit of shit, which you guys can definitely do about our teams too through all these sites. But that is AussieNFLFantasy@gmail.com. That's where you can email us. And if you're a bit more of a spoken word man, like your boy Matty C here, hit Aussie NFL Fantasy on the Anchor FM site. You can leave a voice message up to a minute long. That's anchor.fm/Aussie NFL Fantasy. Now, you'll find all these in our link tree, and you'll also find the link to the merch store. That's right. That is a Mount Rushmore of us. And you can find that shirt. You can even find the Manjot of Liberty shirt. There's a Taylor Lincoln Memorial thing going on there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Go and find that. That link tree is obviously you can just bash into Linktree, Aussie NFL Fantasy. We come up, but it's also in the show notes for everywhere you find us, whether it's a podcast or the video version. Now, before we start, I do this every week, and I'm doing it here because it's going to get rowdy later. I'd like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, the traditional landowners in the ACT where Manjot and I are dialing in from. We'd also like to acknowledge that not only are the traditional landowners, but we'd like to acknowledge the leaders, past, present, and emerging in those communities. We'd also like to do the same for where Taylor is dialing in from. He's from Darawal country, and one of our guests, Sizzle, is dialing in from there too. And that's up in Wollongong, and we'd like to equally share our respects with the leaders, past, present, and emerging, and just pay some respect to the land on which the boys are dialing in from. But then we've got another guest. That's right. There's going to be 5 of us on tonight. And our other guest, Quinny, is dialing in from Young, and that is Wiradjuri land, which is, it is beautiful land out there. I had a great experience last weekend in Gundagai celebrating Wiradjuri culture with my eldest, and she's a proud Wiradjuri girl. Our family was very fortunate to be part of that corroboree last Saturday, and we'd just like to pay our respects to the traditional landowners out in Wiradjuri country and also to the leaders past, present, and emerging out there. Now, it's mock draft season. Let's get the boys in and start introducing them all. Well, it is a busy screen now that you join us from just having me solo on the screen just moments ago and via the magic of podcast editing. Now I've got a whole crew. Guys, everyone knows the regulars. Let's introduce them in. Taylor, welcome back to the show, brother. It's good to see you again.
Thanks, mate. Good to be back. Looking to dominate another mock draft. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I think I was top percentage last time, or at least equal. But the people know who won. So let's go and get another W, eh?
Mate, I stuffed the ballot box with every Instagram account I've got. So let's give you the win, mate. What's that behind you?
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd never ask. It's some guy.
Marcus Mariota.
out the front of his house. He also poured some beer on himself, I think, so he's probably a bit sticky. And I think he's just basically saying what everyone knows and pointing up the finger of him being first. So I don't know. I'm not sure who he is, but he looks very handsome.
Excellent. I'll have to go back through what was trending on Twitter that day. In the meantime, I want to swing over and just introduce Jerry Rice over here. Manjot, welcome back.
Hey.
It's always a pleasure to see you too, mate.
Yeah, it's always good to see you there, Matty, and good to see you, Taylor. You know, we got a few special guests today.
We do.
I'm a bit nervous. If you guys watch my TikTok, that I literally recorded about 5 minutes before joining the Zoom before the show. I'm nervous as heck. I'm gonna be honest. I've never played Superflex. I've never done this before, but today we're gonna try something new. Hopefully I get more votes than last time because my boys you got to come in clutch next time. You know, next vote, you guys got to come in clutch. But yeah.
Well, I'm not voting for myself this time, so I'm going to stuff the ballot box for you, brother.
Let's go.
Well, maybe not, because I mean, okay, elephant in the room time. We've got 2 extra guests, and I've been force-getting this a little bit in the days leading up, because especially on recording day, mate, I couldn't contain my excitement. Even wearing the good old Astro League, the old Aussie Fantasy Show mask, you could see the excitement in the eyes. Sizzle and Quinny, it is great to have these guys because they joined us back in January last year through off-season, and they've been busily making their own awesome podcast. But firstly, let's introduce Quinny. You are on first, so I'm going to introduce you first, mate. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me again. It's great to be back. I really enjoyed last time we were on the podcast together, and it's always fun to talk NFL and in particular fantasy. I'm coming back with vengeance this year. My team didn't go very well last year. That's a story for another time, but I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm keen to see how I go in the Superflex League.
I feel like it's going to come up. I feel like someone's going to mention what happened with your team last year.
Yeah, we'll come up. I don't want to talk about it right now. Can we just not mention it for a bit? Thanks,
okay,
guys. Cheers.
We'll move on. But you're always at the arsehole end because, you know, it's the Sizzle and Quinny podcast, and I feel like it's only just that you get to go first sometimes, brother. I'm looking out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's always nice to go first for a change.
There you go. See? Bringing people together, helping people feel their feels. But it does mean poor Sammy. This is Sizzle. He's at the arsehole end, and I'm sorry, mate, but someone had to be. Still, much show respect to you, brother. It's good to have you on the show. It's lovely to see you, mate.
Yeah, look, lovely to see you too. Thanks again for having me. It's a pleasure to be back on this wonderful podcast that you host here. Really enjoy listening to the pod. So keep up the great work. Hopefully I can add some great content to the pod tonight. Looking forward to it. Indeed. Mock draft, always a bit of fun, especially when it's super flex. And this will be a bit of prep for the actual fantasy season that's just around the corner. So can't wait.
Well, I mean, so there's 3 guys in this room who are in a super flex league together. Who wants to take the lead on just sharing a bit about that? Not Taylor.
Oh, you go, Sizzle, if you want.
I'm happy to. Yeah, look, I mean, we played Superflex last season. It's the first time I've ever played a Superflex league. It's very interesting. I mean, particularly drafting. The whole draft strategy, as we'll maybe find out on this podcast, you definitely have to approach it a lot differently. A lot of quarterbacks going early as opposed to a standard league where you can kind of wait on those. So it'll be interesting to see where the likes of Allen and Patrick Mahomes go in this mock draft. So, yeah, look, I enjoyed playing it. I think I do prefer standard league just personally, but it's a lot of fun. It's always good to have a few extra players playing, making those games and especially red zone a little bit more entertaining. But yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think, Tay and Quinny?
Yeah, I think for me, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely something different because as you know, Sizzle, we've always been doing a pretty standard league. So it was nice to do something, something we've never really done before. So it was really exciting for me in particular. Being able to pick 2 QBs. It's just a shame that Drew Brees wasn't playing, that season, so I couldn't draft him as I like to do every year. But that's okay. As a diehard Saints fan, I'm a bit surprised Sizzle didn't mention Winston in his talk there about the the Superflex League. I think Jameis could have a good year this year, so he could be a sneaky pick maybe at some point. But I definitely think will probably change my strategy from last year. I think I went QB a bit too early. I think I might.
You couldn't go any worse, mate. You couldn't
Yeah,
go
I know.
anywhere.
Well, I came last in the end, so I
Oh,
have to do something
funny.
different.
Oh.
I have to do something. So, but again, like Sizzle said, we really enjoyed it, and I love fantasy, so any draft's a good draft for me. So
Did they make you get a tattoo for coming last? Was there a punishment?
I don't even know.
Should
yet.
have been. There should have been.
Mate, if
I
you've done
think
the
isn't it
punishment,
you
great. I
guys
reckon
that
this year
making me
you say
rename
there's
my
going to be a
team or
punishment.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be the funny. That'd be the story. Every year someone comes last, they never get a punishment. And the year that I come last, the punishments come in. So that's okay. I'll take one for the team. But
You're a good bloke, aren't you?
I am a good bloke.
You are.
He
I like
copped
Taylor.
more. I'll give this to him. I copped more than enough shit. He copped enough that was worth it because it's a pretty happening group chat in that league,
cool.
and
Yeah.
he definitely got a lot of shit hurled at him during the season. I think it was kind of funnier because I've literally never seen a league finish closer in my entire life
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, really?
It was
Real close,
legitimately
Tell us about it.
first to ninth. I think I was separated by like 2 games. Might have even been a game.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
insane.
Whoa.
Like,
Dang.
it was basically at the end, there was so many different scenarios for people making it. Like basically everyone had to win to try and get in. I think technically the only one it didn't was me, but I still had the same record as like 4 other teams. But it was only because I had a good for and against that I didn't have to. But I still wanted to so I could try and get a bye. And then I didn't get a bye in the end, even though I was first for like the last 4 weeks because it was so close. It was absurd. And the only person essentially that couldn't make the playoffs in the last week was Quinny.
Quinny.
That's true.
Jeez.
I feel like
That's all right.
I feel like I should give you a
But
hug.
even you
I don't
didn't
know.
have that far.
You just
I
My
wasn't
heart
that
goes
far.
out to you,
And I think
brother.
I won. I think I won like my last 3 games, but I was too
Yeah.
far gone by then. So
How?
That's okay.
After you told me off mic earlier, all the problems you had with your team and who
I
you
had a lot
traded
of
away, who
problems.
you got back, how they got.
yeah,
How did
His
you win?
trades are the best.
I don't
How
know.
good
I
his
think
trades.
my trade,
No, they were
no,
great.
iconic,
Particularly
no, iconic
trading Robert
trades.
Woods away to Quinny. That was a highlight.
Yeah,
of
what a
last
trade
season.
that was.
Sizzle.
Yeah,
And then,
Game
and
up
then
know
the
what?
line.
You know what's funny is
Jalen
we were
Hurts
talking about
gift.
this
The
off
Jalen
air
Hurts
is
gift the entire season.
and Jalen Hurts as well. I think it was a package deal. I think it was what was it trade Quinny? It was Jalen Hurts and
I don't even know. Can't remember.
it might have been
It's-
just
it's
Jalen
scarred
Hurts
me.
for Robert
Yeah,
Woods
it's a bit
straight up.
traumatized,
And
guys.
then the day after,
Straight up, yeah.
Robert Woods was out for the
Good.
season.
Oh,
Yeah,
This
that
was
was
the day
fun.
after.
That was a great
That was-
notification to get in the morning.
We did make
Notification, ESPN Fantasy, Robert Woods gone down at training. They fear it's an ACL. Thanks, guys. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'd also like to point out the day after the draft, I traded Brendan Ayuk for Cooper Cup. And at the time, it actually was a fair trade.
I would have
they
done that
actually
after
were,
draft day last
back-to-back
year.
in the rankings.
Yeah.
well. I'll do you one better there. I don't know if you remember, but I actually drafted Debo Samuel and dropped him before the start of the season.
Yeah.
oh my!
Wow.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, that
Debo
happened.
jersey.
That's
happened.
amazing.
He was taken near the
I-
end of the draft.
Yeah, I thought he was. I think he was one of the last players I picked.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before obviously kickers and defense, and then
You're
I was just
kidding.
stacked at wide receiver, and I was like, you know what? I can't get rid of anyone else. I'll drop him, and then he goes on to becoming basically, this 2-headed monster running back,
Yeah.
wide
Dominated.
receiver who
Wide
just
back,
absolutely dominated. Who's going to go very high in drafts?
Yeah.
This year.
Last year
His
was
jersey
insane.
sales have gone up. By the way, his jersey sales have gone up by at
Yeah.
least one. I'll be honest. My
Manjo
Debo
gets a
jersey might
notification
come
every time there's a Debo jersey sold too. He'll send you to that
He
instant,
Yeah.
exactly
gets a
down to the one.
notification every
Wait,
time
wait,
someone mentions
in.
Debo.
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
Debo
he does.
jersey. There's
There
a
goes
Debo
another
jersey.
one thing. Yeah. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Wow. And Manjo,
I'll-
you haven't done Super Flex at all? Is that right? You're like me? I've never played redraft Super Flex either.
Yeah, I've never played Superflex at all, Dynasty or Redraft. So this is a completely new experience for me. I did record a TikTok just before we came on air, and I was absolutely just like Matty. We're both shitting in our undies, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight. Yeah,
That's what we do
it's
best.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, but as a shoot, how do I say? As a junior chess champion myself, I used to always like playing chess variants. So this is a variant of fantasy football. I love
Yeah.
fantasy football, so I can like outthink everyone hopefully in this variant. So who knows?
This is going to be
Who
a lot
knows?
like
But
chess. Yeah.
Yeah, this is me playing chess, not checkers. You know.
Oh, I like
Can
that.
I just?
Yeah, you see.
I'll just
see where I was going there.
I do, yeah.
I'll-
Yes. Same mind. Well, you're
I
going
was
to
just
die
gonna
if you
say,
can't
Matty.
speak. Floor is yours. Floor is yours.
Taylor, what
all
are you
yours,
gonna
Tay.
say, man?
I've
Tay.
never tried to get into a combo more like that. I'm like 5 times. It's enough. I'm done.
He's done.
All
Okay,
right.
moving on. Go on. You know you want to.
All I
Come
was
on.
going to say was because I didn't say sort of what my takeaway from Superflex last year was,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I actually thought it was. I really thought it was interesting. Like, I would actually be really interested in doing another one. Like, if we had a vote, I would definitely say let's do it again. Because especially in the draft, it actually is kind of like a chess match because it makes you actually have to think about taking a quarterback early, and you don't have to do that in a redraft, really.
No.
So I just think it makes it way more interesting because it gives you an extra position that you have to actually think about early.
Yeah.
So it gives you way more different sort of looks you can actually do to the draft. And then even during the season in waivers and stuff like that, the quarterbacks become way more relevant. Like even guys that like it might be a quarterback 20 and stuff, you got to start thinking whether you should sit them on your bench because you're like, well, they've got such value, even though they're not high-end quarterbacks, just because they are a quarterback. You actually have to start thinking if you'd actually bench one just for the sake of it, because they might actually have trade value at one stage, or they might be necessary if your quarterback goes down. So it's actually really, really interesting having a league like that where quarterbacks are so more, like way more vital than they are in redraft. Because I feel like sometimes it's just way too easy in redraft just to sit back and wait to the 7th or 8th round and just take one because you feel like you're getting decent value. Whereas here, if you wait too long, like you could have you would just be have absolute turd sandwiches there. So you got to really make the right decision. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Wow. With that, man, I reckon we should almost kick this sucker off. I just want to note real quickly, everybody is playing a chess game already. No one has taken 1, 2, 3, or 4. Quinny's got balls of steel in at number 5. By the way, I'm gonna give you extra
up.
points
He
for your
swapped.
team.
He was 4.
Yeah,
What's
he's
going on
totally
there?
he's totally
Ditch
fishing
me.
at you. And then I've got to
That's
say,
okay,
Sizzle
I'll take
also with balls of steel right next to you. You two are just inseparable, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get
And
it
then look at
started.
our other boys. They've gone. Manjot was at 8, and now he's just quietly, very
Yeah, those
quietly
back-to-back
snuck his way
picks.
down to 10 just to get a double way of messing up Taylor,
Double
which
whammy,
I love.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
also mess him up too on the way
Well,
back.
that's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
If I get 2 chances to mess you up, so that's all good.
That's all
And
right.
check out Chess Champion here. He's like, yeah, but if I sit myself here, I get 3 minutes on the clock instead of 90 seconds. So he's a clever man.
It just
I'm gonna
means
hit
I
go.
get to take Debo earlier.
I'm
Oh,
gonna hit go. Let's do
don't
it.
you dare. Don't you dare.
All right, let's see what happens first because Quinny's going to be our first live pick. And in the first pick, we get Josh Allen goes straight away. And then Taylor's boyfriend, Justin Herbert.
Oh,
quarterbacks.
Taylor, RIP.
and then
bro.
Lamar Jackson.
No,
Mr. Jack will be mad.
no, my man, Lamar. Come on.
Now,
man.
Quinny, you got 80 of the best seconds of your life and only pressure.
Oh,
That was a quick trigger. Talk us through it.
Yeah.
oh, Matty joined us.
Goes Cooper Cup at number 5. Quinny, what a move.
It's a great pick. Full PPR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Considering how much he dominated last year, I'm just going.
Yeah, it's a great
straight.
pick.
I need a good
Great.
receiver.
And then you've got Mahomes. We've discovered that the Chiefs and Quinny, they go, oh, sorry, Chiefs and Sizzle go side by side. Gee, Quinny, you would hate to be a Chiefs fan. Wash my mouth out. I'm in at
So
slot
you are
7.
doing
I've
the
I've
draft
given
now.
myself a slot, and I'm in at 7.
Oh, is he?
You're on the
I thought you was
clock.
watching.
And I'm
I
on
thought
the
you were
clock.
watching.
Oh,
You're on
yeah.
the clock.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can't resist. You know.
Yeah, we all know I couldn't resist. And I'm not going to take a lot of time on this one. I'm going to go straight to my newest
Ooh.
boyfriend.
Eckler.
He backflipped to Eckler. Dude was hating on him. He was,
Yeah.
Eckler was big as
I love that pick.
Man,
I do.
I've grown
love
up a bit.
Austin
Eckler's a
Eckler.
good player.
When he's not
praying-
in advantage.
When he's on
Yeah,
his
when he's
praying
not
for
in.
CMC.
McCaffrey goes at 8, and now Taylor's on the clock. Oof. So now we've got 3 running backs, 4 quarterbacks, and a wide receiver off the board. Taylor,
King Henry.
explain yourself.
Oh,
I haven't the PPR comes into play there for me, and I haven't been able to get Jefferson in not many leagues. I'm massive on him. I think he could easily be the wide receiver 1 this year. I think the Vikings are going to pass more than ever with the coaching change. So yeah, I'm massively on Jefferson.
Oh, but now we get Manchot on the clock.
Yeah, I think this is pretty simple, to be honest, for me. I think I'm going to go Kyler, rushing upside, that passing upside.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with my boy, Jamar Chase.
See, that's why I didn't take Henry. Because I didn't think you'd take him.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take him. I just after I was going to take CMC at 10, to be honest, but I didn't want to wait around too long for QB. I was massively panicking. So yeah, I just love how it makes the wow sound. And this is
I foreskinned a bit, but I took Henry. Funnily enough, the only reason against him sometimes is PPR, and then all of a sudden he started getting a bunch of catches last year. So I feel like they actually might be trying to work something with him, even though he's coming off the injury. But even if he breaks every PPR thing, who gives a shit? He just fucking destroys people.
Oh, he does. Now, I'm going to quickly announce here a bit. We've got Kyler Murray with 110 and Jamar Chase. I think Manjot with 2 super good picks there. Of course, Taylor has a big boner for Derrick Henry. Joe Burrow goes at the auto pick at 8, and then I've just gone ahead sneakily, quietly taking Kelsey. So I'm through 2 rounds with no quarterbacks.
Before Sizzle could stack.
Dalvin Cook had to do it.
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, I want a Dalvin Cook.
Had to do it. When
I'm worried
injured,
he's going to get suspended.
Has so much value. I mean, that's the injuries and suspensions aside. He puts up points.
As someone who owned Cook last year, you better get Madison. Jesus Christ, that is the best handcuff in the league.
In the world.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And now Quinny he's gone out and picked up Najee Harris, which I think, in terms of a guy who's going to see volume, because what else is on his team, that's a heck of a play. So he's in the same position as me with no quarterback through 2 rounds. Then we see Russ, Mark Andrews, Joe Mixon, and Dak Prescott finish out round 2. Stephon Diggs kicks off round 3 with Jalen Hurts. There's a team who've got 2 quarterbacks in their first 3 rounds, both pick 1 and 2. Devontae Adams goes 3 in the 3rd round. And then CeeDee Lamb. So leaves Quinny with an interesting spot. He has Cup and Harris. Explain yourself,
He's already
Quinny.
taken Stafford.
Talk us
I
through
thought
it.
I thought I'd get a quarterback now. I was hoping I might wait a bit longer, but I had Matthew Stafford on my love list, so I wanted to grab him before someone else did. I don't know if he would have lasted maybe another round or 2, but I just went for it. So I'll take him and Cup on the same team all day.
Yeah, stack that bitch up. That's the 10th quarterback already. Hella's giggling about the stack that bitch up, are you?
No, I was. Of course I was.
Debo, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast, this is a player I dropped for the start of the season.
Don't drop him again.
Don't drop him this time.
I drafted him, and I'm not going to drop him. Let's hope he's a running back and a wide receiver again next season.
Yeah.
Did you have to use the search function to find him? Were you really after him? Was he near the top?
He was a little bit deeper, actually.
Yeah,
he was below Tyreek Hill, who I also thought about drafting, but yeah, went with Debo.
I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. I'm going to take the oldest player in modern history and take Tom Brady as my starting quarterback. I took him over Rodgers, who then goes next at 8. Tay is on the clock.
That's the easiest pick of my life.
Oh, I got 2 picks now.
That's a great pick.
In a full PPR, DeAndre Swift, my goodness, I am in love.
Another player that's very injury prone, though.
100%. But I'm in. Mate, I'll take Jamal Williams off the waivers.
Yeah, I'm going to double up here actually on running backs. Now, I've heard a lot of rumors about Kamara's suspension, so I'm actually going to pass on him. 100% pass on him. I'm going with Nick Chubb in round 3. And to start round 4, where is he? Javonte. I'm very high on both of them. I think I know Nick Chubb is probably going to take some denting, but I think I'm going to stack up on running backs. I see Taylor has a couple, and the others all have 1. So I'm just trying to play a little strategic there. Try and take off running back before it starts flying off the board by the time I come back. So yeah, it just felt logical.
Got a
Yeah, give
little
an explanation.
conundrum here. Bit of a conundrum. It's very similar to when we did our last mock, where I feel like I always get this position where I'm looking at Mike Evans, but then someone else that I've got slightly ranked higher. Like last time it was Debo, and then I went with Debo over him. It's an interesting one.
Well, Superflex genius, Tay.
Yeah, of course. We all know this.
We can all see it.
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill just because
Oh.
I've mentioned I'm in on him in Tua. I actually think they're going to be awesome together.
So you're
this
going to
year.
stack him with Tua next pick?
Oh,
if he's
we all
around?
know that.
Ooh.
A couple later.
We called this. We called this while you were off, Mike.
did-
you
we
left
did actually
early
call
and
this.
We totally called this.
We
Yeah.
called it.
There's no way that Taylor doesn't do that.
Well,
I am
expecting
going to
of it.
stand by my man, Dolly Parton style. And I have said all kinds of things about Saquon Barkley in this offseason. But I'm not going to pick him because I've got Aaron Jones ranked higher. So I'm taking Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Total.
I was
clean
about
sweep.
to say if you took him over Aaron Jones, man.
Aaron Jones is. I've got him. I'm going to have him so many places this year. Like I'm so in on him. I had him in our last mock, and if I didn't already have two running backs, I would have definitely got him here as well.
So, I just got a text from my wife too, who's listening from isolation in another part of the house, saying, "It's Tammy Wynette, you idiot! It's not Dolly Parton." So, yeah, all right.
Mike
Oh,
Evans.
Mike
It's not bad enough.
There
My
he goes.
country music following is
There's
worse.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. It's time. It's time for Mike Evans.
Mike
to take
Evans
off
with
the
the
board.
sizzle.
Top 10 wide receiver. Mike
AJ.
Evans.
Oh,
Yeah,
AJ
my boy,
Brown.
Zeke
Yeah.
Waller.
New home in Philly. Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
tossing him long balls.
Yeah, have
Yep.
a go at that. Quinny taking AJ Brown. He's off in concentration at the moment, but what do
I'll
you
give
think
him.
about
I'll give him. He's like he'll be pretty much. I think he'll be the number one receiver. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have
He
another
has to
big
be.
year. I think he'll improve. So I'm going with AJ Brown. I want to sort of stack up my receivers a bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I think I might have to do it. I'm just going to do it. I like Keenan Allen. I'm a big fan of Keenan
Yeah.
Allen.
Oh,
We're very- Hey, we're
Oh.
very
Stack my
pro-
receivers.
We're a pro Keenan Allen podcast.
Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
John Sure.
Going to the right
Yeah.
place.
Give me some Keenan Allen. Give me some AJ Brown.
Oh.
Give me some Cup. I'll
Officially,
take it.
Quinny is our most popular host today, taking Keenan Allen straight up.
I love
there.
that.
He
Yeah.
won the Logie. He wins the gold Logie there.
Feels
Yeah, it's
good.
in the mail. It's in the mail, mate. It's on
wait.
its way out to
Feels
Wiradjuri
good.
country, mate. It's on its way.
Please
Perfect.
don't
Tough.
leave Higgins on the board because I'll be too tempted.
This is tough. This is tough.
Sizzle's
I want
really
to take a
having
running back,
think
but
here.
I want to go running back here, but there's no one I really love. I mean, Connor, I'm not a huge fan of.
Nah.
I'm gonna go.
Guys named Connor
I'm gonna
suck.
play it safe and go with Kittle.
Oh, I was praying for Kittle to drop. I was praying for Kittle to drop.
Now, you'd think I'm a San Fran supporter with Debo and Kittle right now.
You
yeah,
would.
those two, man. I'm so sad.
Do you ever
Just
worry that
want-
they both can't score on the same drive? I worry about that with receiving.
I
players
do.
with the same
I do. I
quarterback.
don't love to have, especially two pass catches.
Hmm.
So that's literally why I trade. The only reason I traded Brandon Ayuk for Cup, which sounds unbelievable now, is because I didn't want Ayuk and Kittle on the same team, and that's how I drafted.
And you absolutely robbed them.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Now, I've very quietly gone and taken Kirk Cousins because he's the lettuce sandwich of fantasy football, but
That's
I
all
love
right.
him. And then T. Higgins goes.
Oh,
got my
he
boy.
take-
Trey
God
Lance.
I got
dang
my
it.
boy. Trey Lance,
God
who
dang
wanted.
it.
I've done
I was
so many
planning for-
mocks.
I was
I knew you
planning
were.
for the Kittle.
Tasted me, John.
You didn't
Yeah,
want
Yeah, I
Tua?
was
You
planning
didn't
for
want
the
that
Kittle
stack,
and
Tay?
Trey Stack. I was
I thought
planning
for
that
sure.
stack. Oh gosh.
I've taken Trey Lance in that exact spot in every mock, and I just laughed that he just got it.
Yeah, I'm
The tour pick's still
Oh, my
coming. It's still coming. We all know. You can't hide from it, Tay.
Yeah.
Nah. We've got Manjot on the clock. I'm going to quickly go back and say, at the end of the fourth round, Brees Hall, Derek Carr, Saquon Barkley, and Kyle Pitts all went to round that out. And then I was a bit distracted and missed it. Leonard Fournette, Antonio Gibson, Ezekiel Elliott, Darren Waller all go before Sizzle picks again in the fifth round. So that brings us up to date with Keenan Allen, Kittle, Cousins, Higgins, and Lance all going in this round. We've had about 15 quarterbacks go. It is fantastic. Most teams have two. Yeah.
And that's the fun
You
of
know,
the Superflex, isn't it?
So I
Messes
did.
stuff up.
I purposely went to 9, and then I had this theory that I wanted to sort of wait on quarterback, and I did it in our draft last year, and I just wanted to actually push it further, see how far I could actually go. So I'm actually happy with how it's turned out.
I can't say the same for my team. I'm looking at my team going, what am I doing?
I have to grab him before Taylor does. Look, Taylor, because you broke my heart with Trey Lance, I'm going to take Tua. Take Tua away from you. No, he's not your toy anymore. I'm sorry, Taylor. I have to take him straight away.
Getting personal. Brilliant.
Because it was getting into that murky territory.
It's the easiest pick of my life.
Yeah, James Conner.
James Conner there. My goodness.
You know why? Because he's garbage.
You guys are idiots.
So Connor's a player I traded last year, and after I traded him, he became. I think he scored. What was it? Did he have a three touchdown game?
Yeah, and why was that again? He had no Chase Edmonds there. Who does he not have this year? Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
How is he not higher? I'm sorry, I just don't understand.
He's only got Eno Benjamin and Jalen Samuels, who Jalen Samuels eats anyway. I don't. Taylor's got this idea that these guys don't exist and they've been deleted from the Matrix. But anyway, no problems with me taking DK Metcalf as my first wide receiver, for goodness sake, in the 6th round.
You beat me to him there.
But this is the only part of strategy I've got going into this is wide receiver is so deep, I'm pretty happy to wait on him.
Yeah.
Now, I really need another running back here, but I don't love who's on the board.
Dobbins went before my pick. I've taken Metcalf. We've got Sizzle on the clock.
The Aikens is such a risk, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you'd like to think he's back. He played in the playoffs last year. And, I mean, not well, but it was an Achilles, right? So they're tough to come back from. So you'd like to think he'll be doing okay. Have a go at this team for Sizzle while he's thinking there. He's got Mahomes in the first round, then Dalvin in the second round, Debo and Mike Evans only as his wide receivers, and then Kittle on the way back in the 5th. And here he is in 6th, pondering.
I think I'm going to,
I think he's getting some votes here, Sizzle. He might get my vote for team of the
need
week
a running back. So I sort of
I'm going to need a running back soon, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with this is you start forgetting about certain positions because there's so many to look at. You always feel like you're losing at least one spot.
The best pick in the draft right now.
Bad.
You know who I might end up with? It's my boy Miles Sandate, and if you remember from last season,
the bloke who I put in 700 trade offers, and then all of a sudden you didn't even like him, but you're like, I'm not trading him to you because you like him so much. That's the only reason.
Wow.
And then he was shit. And then he was terrible.
Yeah, he was. And look, I can't take him. So I don't love.
I still think Quinny's got the best pick of the draft here with David Montgomery, who's going to score so many more fantasy points than James Conner this year. I'm on record with that.
I feel like he'll get enough touches. Like, who else do the Bears have, really? They don't have Allen Robertson.
I'm going to do it for a bit of fun.
Legitimately the dumbest take.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders, Sizzle's boy.
Had to do it.
He did it. He's done it. He's got Miles Sanders. Well, you know,
hey, if you want to make a mid-draft trade, go for it.
No worries.
Now I'm in a position where, I'm sort of. I've got my 2 quarterbacks. I'm feeling pretty happy with myself. I'm just going to go and just firm up some running back and take Manjort's boy.
Man,
the proper Elijah M.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about Elijah, man.
I can see your eyes were like this big, and for those playing at home, I've got my palms wide open. His eyes were that big, looking at. I'm like, I know who he's looking at.
Yeah, I really wanted him, but I couldn't have 3 San Fran players. I mean,
yeah.
Who's gonna score?
I've been sniped by Team 8 a few times here. That's killing me. I was ready to sing out loud with Hollywood there.
I was going with Hollywood and Elijah as well, but Yeah.
have been done here because I'm sort of already heavy at running back. I don't really like the running backs anyway. I'm sort of it's a bit of a weird zone with the wide receivers here.
Yeah. I was really legitimately looking at wide receiver, and I just couldn't take Hollywood over Elijah Mitchell. But then no one else was really jumping at me. I'll let some of you guys have a go.
I know you're a Jerry Judy fan.
Yeah, it's actually
Jerry
what I'm doing.
Judy. Love Jerry Judy.
Yes, Jerry Judy
I'm
at
going Jerry
7-9.
Judy.
There you go.
Yeah, I took Cortland. I took
Oh,
Cortland
Judge
Sutton
Judy.
on the last one, but it's weird. I feel like everyone's onto that now, and it seems like all of a sudden Sutton's getting drafted almost exactly where Judy is. Whereas if that happens, I'd rather Judy. But if you're getting value on Sutton, I'll take Sutton. But you're not really getting value anymore all of a sudden. It's funny how quickly things can change in the fantasy community.
Maybe when you're an influencer in the fantasy community like Taylor, and as soon as you do something like Taylor does, everyone straps onto Taylor because he's a big influencer. Manjot's up, and his team is looking great. He's got Colin Murray, Jamar Chase, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, and Jalen Waddle. Second quarterback, he snipes Taylor with Tua. And then here we are on the clock with 7 and 8 round picks for Manjot.
I just realised Quinny took Dalton Schultz. Did not notice that.
Yeah, Schultzy. I needed a tight end.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
like
with
it,
Not bad.
I really like
Taylor's
it.
been getting him a lot in mocks.
Prescott likes to throw it, so he'll throw it. He doesn't have a Murray Cooper anymore. He might get a few more targets.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just looking at
Cooper's still on the board
my
as well.
tight end rankings because I'm going tight end. I'm publicly saying it right now while I'm on the clock. I'm going tight end, 100%. I'm just trying.
Hawk watch,
Mate, it's Dan Arnold.
I think I gotta
now.
go. I gotta
Dan
go
Arnold.
Hawk watch. I'm going Hawk watch.
Hawk watch.
I mean,
That's
Gronk
the
is still
back.
there. He might come out of retirement. Gronk is still available.
I might take him as a sneaky.
I did that last
end of-
time.
Yeah. So now
I
I
got
got
Taysom
another
Hill.
Picks, you can take him.
minute. Now I got another minute and a half. Sorry. It's an interesting spot because this is where I'm drafting my flex here. I think I've gone. Just something's there for Mari, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, so
Gotta be Brissett. That's what's there for Amari. It's all good news for
Yeah.
Amari, by the way. If you've
It
got him in
could
Dynasty,
technically
are
still
you
be
shitting
Baker.
yourself?
It could still be Baker.
It probably will be, won't it? Like if you had the choice between starting
Yeah.
Brissett and Mayfield, there's no right answer, right? They're both
No.
equally bad, aren't they?
yeah.
If you're Amari, which one do you want? That's the hot question.
Yeah. I think just to
Amari
play,
dreaming about.
to play it safe, I'm gonna go. It's a little bit of risk, but I'm going with Brendan Cooks, honestly.
Oh, that's who I was looking for next.
I love Brandon Cooks.
Consistent fancy player.
I was
I'm
probably
going with
get-
someone
It's no
Matty
respect.
was. I'm giving him respect now. Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
break out on this team.
I think Manjot, having seen me do the Elijah Mitchell, just did the Brandon Cooks to me because he knows I love Brandon Cooks. Oh, love him. But fair enough. One each there, mate. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair play to you, brother.
It was just like Trey and Tua, me versus Taylor up there. Yeah, I just wanted to get that second QB before Taylor could. So, yeah.
But I like how
Well,
Sizzle's
anyway.
having a bit of a crack at you too. He's got in there and taken a few 49ers just to rough you.
Yeah.
And you're not giving
Bit of
Sizzle any
trade
shit
bait,
at all.
yeah.
You're not giving him any shit. What is it? Just
Yeah,
because it's
it's
you.
Sizzle.
Yes, you got to be nice to
I'm
Yeah, he
still-
took.
I'm still taking Amari Cooper. I even
Got some
said
thick skin.
earlier in the preseason, I think he's still going to be fine even with one of the shitty quarterbacks. I just think he's going to get way
Yeah.
like a massive target share. So.
Yeah. So Cooks, Cooper, and then AJ Dillon is taken by Team 8, who's sort of squirreling away. My Aaron Jones handcuff there. That was the pick for me. But this is probably the spot where I've got to get another wide receiver now. It's the 8th round. I've got one wide receiver. And,
Yeah, you
and
might
there's,
need to make
there's a
some
plethora.
moves. Yeah, there's
There's
heaps of them.
plenty.
Real deep this
Plenty of wide
year.
receivers.
Wide receivers.
So deep. Yeah.
So this is a spot where I don't
Bullet
mind a bit of
Sutton.
Amon Ra. And I'll go and
Yeah,
take him.
I was debating between Amon Ra, Cooper, and whoever I took. Cooks. Yeah, of course. My boy Brandon Cooks. Now I was debating between those three in my pick. So
I'm
yeah.
trying to work out when Quinny takes Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey,
Next pick.
It's for
Someone's
sure.
got
Wait
a-
and see,
someone's
boys.
snipe.
Just in moments.
I don't know if I trust him. He screwed me over last year. He ruined my season.
Yeah, we just heard that from Brendox last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks.
But for you, I think, Quinny, he was only part of what ruined your season. Whereas for Brendan, that's
Oh,
legitimately.
Justin.
Oh, Justin Fields.
Yeah, look, I needed another quarterback. I
Yes.
kind of went a bit late on second quarterback. There probably should
I
have gone a
did
little
too,
early,
mate.
but
I still haven't got my second one.
That's some
Yeah, I
upside
haven't got
here,
one
though,
yet
Sis.
either.
I like that. You've got
Yeah.
some upside here.
But
Yeah,
they're
that's
all,
why I jumped the gun on Tua pretty much.
I'm
Michael
waiting
Thomas
now.
gone.
Honestly, I feel like every quarterback left in the next like 6 or 7 are all the same.
All upside.
But
Yeah.
that's why I'm waiting
Alright.
now.
Are you ready, boys? I'm getting Drew Brees. Here it comes.
There we go.
Oh, famous Jameis.
It's
Let's go.
Give me some Winston and Landry Thomas, Alvin Kamara. Give it to me, Winston. Let's go.
Oh, man,
I had to get a second quarterback. I was getting a bit rattled, so pulled the trigger.
All right.
I love that.
Is this going to be our?
I actually
is this
like
gonna
your
be
team
our
so much
last
more than I
pick?
like my own, Quinny.
Well, is this
I'm
our
gonna
last
crowd
pick
pleaser.
before the pause?
I'm,
Maddie,
Give the
is this
people what
our
they
last
want.
pick before the pause?
Yeah, I reckon that might be the way to go. Is we'll pause it here because we're going to go to break and we're back in a jiffaroo. But I'm going to hit pause on that. Maybe a good time to just quickly roll through some teams before we come back on as well.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Taylor Talk time.
Because all I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's a foreskin right there. We'll foreskin that for later. That's on the first 5 pages.
Wowza. Mate,
Sorry, the first 4 pages. Foreskin. We didn't want to talk about it. You guys brought it up. It wasn't me, of course.
mate, we'll chat later.
Yeah. I didn't realise you can trade. I didn't realise it was a trade button. I don't do many trades, mate. So I always stay on the fence. I don't call him an absolute spud, and I never call him an absolute choker in the second half of years. So, well, we start with the Portaloo at the back when we just shit ourselves straight into the Portaloo, and then it goes into a hole, not even into an actual toilet.
Aussie NFL Fantasy.
Look, eat it, Mark Downey. I'm all Dolphins this year, mate, and you're going to have to make a lot of room because I'm not the smallest bloke in the world on that bandwagon.
And we're back. And we've got the whole thing paused while we heard from Taylor sounding like a knob, because that's what my drops are, and they're a lot of fun. We'll run through what our teams look like, and I think no better spot than to start at our first live picking with Quinny, who's got Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris, Matt Stafford, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen. My favorite here, David Montgomery. I love that. He sneakily took Dalton Schultz, and then Damian Harris, who we didn't talk about either. Starting to like your team a lot. Goes back and takes Jameis Winston in the 9th round. Breeze light, love it. We're over with Sizzle's team. He's going to be on the clock when we get this thing rolling again too. And we've got Patrick Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Deebo Samuel and Mike Evans, then George Kittle. And then we see Deontay Johnson, Miles Sanders, Justin Fields, and then Kareem Hunt is his pick in the 9th round. For me, Austin Eckler was my first round pick, then Travis Kelce, Tom Brady, Aaron Jones, Kirk Cousins going fairly early on my second quarterback. Then all of a sudden some wide receivers, DK Metcalf, Elijah Mitchell, Amon-Ra St. Brown was my last pick, and I'll be on the clock in a sec. Taylor's team, have a go at this. Justin Jefferson in the first round, then Derrick Henry and DeAndre Swift in the late 3rd round before taking Tyreek Hill in the 4th. Trey Lance is his first quarterback in the 5th round, and then James Conner, Jerry Jeudy, and Amari Cooper. And then we've got Manjot. Manjot not in the middle, on the arse end, taking Kyler Murray, Jamar Chase, Manjot on the arse end. I don't know why I find that so funny, Kelly. You said that like 6 months ago. I'm still laughing about it. Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, Jalen Waddle, 2 a time, Hawkwatch, and my boy Brandon Cooks. I'm actually starting to like Manjot's team quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to unpause this sucker and keep it moving.
Yeah,
sorry, Manjot.
unconventional, and then bit conventional. So it just works as a both for PPR and just Superflex, I guess. Yeah, it's just some good blend. So.
Yeah, real quick, while I got you there, Sizzle, you very sneaky quiet took your pick right before we paused it, and you took Kareem Hunt. Talk me through it, man. While I'm
look, I was
love that pick.
Pretty surprised to get him where I did. To be honest, it was a toss up between Hunt and Patterson there. And I mean, he's the type of player that obviously you got he's there with Chubb, but I mean, as we saw last year, he's got almost as much value in some scenarios. Obviously, he's your third down sort of running back there, catches a lot of balls, and I love his game. So he fills the stat sheet with touchdowns as well year after year. So I must admit, I probably prefer him than my RB2 in Sanders.
And there's Patterson right there. I knew Taylor was going to take it.
Yeah, that's probably a good call, Sizzle.
Yeah. Yeah, like a bit of cream hunt there, and probably.
Can I be honest? I did not even think about Cordarrelle until Sizzle said it.
Me too.
He said he'd think about Hunt, but to be
It was a
honest,
toss-up.
I would have taken Hunt over him too because I really like Hunt. And because of full PPR, he's just so good in the passing game.
Yeah,
but I just
so good.
that's the reason I like Cordarrelle as well. Like he's
Exactly.
he's going to be pretty much the main guy in the receiving and the running back this year. Just because they've got no one else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was a bit surprised though. I missed out on. We all missed on Dawson Knox. He just fell a pick before Taylor. I just noticed that. I was like,
I've got someone I like better.
Yeah, Dan Arnold. We all like Dan Arnold.
Mike,
Yeah, Dan Arnold's there, mate.
Yeah, mate.
What about Taysom Hill? Is Taysom Hill a tight end this year?
Yeah, he is, mate. He's part of the People's Dynasty team.
Nice. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
He's a
We're all
quarterback who
co-owners.
took me to the win. He took me to the win as a quarterback last year. Now all of a sudden he's a tight end.
I got it wrong.
Now we've
Yeah,
got
so I've just
sneaky
taken
Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith. I just feel good about that. And, double up on the NFC East here. I'm going with Pollard. I just think there's some sneaky good upside for both. So, yeah. And I was expecting Ertz there from Taylor.
Yeah,
when he was
I
talking about him.
almost had this weird feeling. So I didn't take Ertz first there, and because I figured there's a chance you might take Patterson, but then I was like, he's already got a tight end, and then I had this weird feeling you were going to be like, screw this draft, I'm just going to destroy Taylor and just take Ertz as well, just as a tight end too.
There was a slight feeling I was going to take Dawson Knox if he fell, but I was like, nah. Because I completely forgot about tight end after I took Hawk. So, yeah.
I love Ertz in the first 6 weeks this year. I think he's going to be so good, especially at tight end, just because, one, you don't get much consistency there, and two, without Hopkins in that offense, like you saw last year, Kyler went to him heaps when he first got there, and now he gets a full off season. So Ertz is always one of my targets late in tight end.
Hey, James Cook.
Now, I'm doing what I like to do. My cousin is James Cook, and where I can get him, I like to get him. But he's also got a bit of opportunity to do something. I mean, I don't know that running game can be all Josh Allen all the time. And they did show at different times last year they can do it. So, we're in the 10th round. We've got three running backs, I've got three wide receivers, I've got two quarterbacks.
You're a bit rattled, mate.
No. I want another wide receiver. There's two that are sort of sticking out to me here, but I'm gonna go.
Hey, you going Bateman?
Oh.
Hot Lockett.
No, I'm gonna go Tyler Lockett.
Wow.
Whoa, Quinny, big.
I know he's suspended, but I'm happy for him to sit on my bench. I've got enough wide receiver depth to start.
Can I get a? How many games is he suspended for again?
I think it's six.
Yeah.
6.
So I don't mind that.
He's wide receiver 4 behind Cup, AJ Brown, and Keenan Allen on Quinny's team. I think he's just killing us.
Here's the
that's
play.
good.
You start Zach Ertz at tight end for 6 weeks, then you sell him after he's killed it when Hopkins comes back to someone who is an idiot and didn't think about the fact that Hopkins is coming back. That's the play for me.
Yeah.
I
do love this guy. I've always been a fan of good old Melvin Gordon. I'll give him a run.
Gordon.
Good. I've talked up Melvin Gordon on this podcast a lot.
Yeah, so where you getting him?
Could be a bench
Hey,
running back.
What's about guest Sizzle and Quinny going with my top 2 running backs, backups? I'm a bit, conflicted right there when I'm talking about bit of a conflict of interest there when I'm talking about those 2 picks coming up later. So yeah, I'll avoid the conflict of interest just for the interest of the show.
He loves Russell Wilson used to play college with Melvin Gordon. They got a connection.
Yeah.
That came up on our
Wisconsin
last
Badgers.
Yeah, Taylor's talking
Alvin
about
he can catch. He's still got some gas. He's still got a bit of gas in that tank.
it. Well, the juice.
Adam hooked on a
Bit of juice,
feeling.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
it's
he
a
didn't
terrific
take a
pick.
larvae. Surprised he didn't take a larvae SQ.
Hey, it's come on. Just let the board play out. We'll see.
You know,
Maybe I've got 2 more picks, mate. Might not get past me.
Oh, fair enough. That's okay. I've got enough receivers.
Oh, Matty, no. All right, Matty definitely 100%. We know who it is. His
Oh,
boy.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, right.
His boy.
Brilliant.
If you're going to have a quarterback
Remember the Titans.
3 and Tom Brady is your quarterback 1, I feel like you could do worse than Trevor Lawrence. He can't possibly be left with worse options than last year.
But I mean, now's probably the time you think about taking another quarterback because otherwise you're going to be in that situation where you're really scrambling.
I've got 3 happy
You mean
receivers.
like-
I've
you
got
mean
4
like-
running backs.
mean
and
like
I got
someone who has
Kelsey.
one
It's
quarterback?
quarterback time.
Yeah, so Taylor,
Taylor still has one.
you've got a strategy for this, though, right?
Yeah, my
No,
strategy
he
sort of
doesn't.
went out the window when I lost the tier there, but I probably would have gone one earlier if I had my time ago. Time back again, but I'm still happy.
I mean,
I'm gonna
Tannehill's
take
still on the board, Tay.
I'm going to take Bobby Trees here.
Hey,
Ooh.
speaking of Titans, yeah, he took Bobby.
Yeah.
That is
Woodland
so
Thielen
late.
is looking
That is so
strong.
late for Bobby Trees.
Love
That
it.
is. Are
Love
we
it.
concerned at all about coming back from that injury?
In the
No.
like 11th round, I'm not.
I mean, I say no. It's not great. Exactly, 11 for
Because I was
It's-
tempted to take him over Thielen as well, but yeah, that injury, I guess.
But he did it. He did it really early. There doesn't seem to be any
That's
concerns
true.
he's going to be there week 1.
Even if it was out week 1, I mean, the rate that guys come back from these injuries, just given the time to
Yeah.
come back well, they come back fine. Maybe the first year isn't their best year, but they come back all right.
Yeah.
And again, you're getting
Well,
him so late that, you know.
Yeah.
I like our
I'm
teammates just
thinking-
gone out and taken a couple of rookie wide receivers with Drake London and Garrett Wilson 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Manjot, can we get you to take 2 rookies in a row, please?
Yeah. Sure. Well, I'm
You can't
actually
take any
going with
Saints rookies, though.
someone.
No Saints rookies.
I'm going
You
with-
can't touch Chris Olave. Chris Olave, he's mine.
Yeah.
He
You
said
gotta
dibs.
take a. You could.
No,
I
you
heard him
can't
say
if you
dibs. I heard him say dibs.
You can if you want. It's all right. I've got enough receivers.
Look, I'm going for someone who's been one of the most hated players on this podcast. Someone Matty C absolutely hates. Matt Ryan. I'm going with him some bench
Matty
depth.
Ice.
If this
I
guy
think,
was a Socceroos goalkeeper, I'd love him. But it's the wrong Matt Ryan.
yeah. And he got subbed out, and then Redmayne.
Yeah, the great wiggle.
Yeah.
Take us
Now
down.
there's
the
only
rounds
about
are left.
7 quarter. Now there's only
All
about
right.
7 quarterbacks left on the same tier. He took the 8.
That's hilarious. Are you going to take another
And
quarterback
then-
now too, man? Just go
Yeah.
hard.
Nah, I'm not. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, so I think I'm just looking at some of these teams. I think yeah, it might be time to get a little bench depth at tight end as well. So I'm going with Gesicki just to
Yeah.
double
I
down.
love Gasicki.
on tight-
Sicky's good.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick because it's just bench depth at this point. So I got find good guys, and I think Gesicki's just good as a bench
To a
tight
stack
end.
as well, is always handy.
Yeah, Tua and Gesicki, that's true. It's my stack. Oh,
I think this guy.
Penny.
I think he's a steal that late, and I just think he's going to be massively
Chase.
involved in the passing game. So
Chase Edmonds, yeah, back-to-back Dolphins there, me and Taylor.
it doesn't
Ooh.
bother me that they got so many running backs because I just don't think. I don't think it matters. I think he still is the lead guy, and then just everyone else is going to share everything, like everything else. It'll be him, Mostert, and then like if one of them gets injured, which we all know Mostert will, then all of a sudden Sony Michel will come in, and then if he gets injured, then all of a sudden it's Gaskin. Like I just don't think it's going to affect. I think Chase Edmonds is going to be a steal late in drafts.
Well, has Michael Thomas been selected? I've
Yeah,
not seen
he went back in the 8th.
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah. So I'm just
Matty
going straight
went-
up Rams. I'm just going hard.
Sizzle went right Tannehill.
So Sizzle with his quarterback
Just for you,
three.
Tay.
Thanks,
And
mate.
then Hunter
did-
Henry
I
is
Did think
Quinny's
about
TE.
the Ryan Tannehill, Robert Woods stack. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's a budget stack.
Give me
of
some
Robert.
Matt Jones. He might be right. I'll take it.
That is a
Mac
budget
Jones
stack.
as quarterback 3 for Quinny. I hate to say it, but Olave did go at 12-8 here, Quinny. I'm sorry, mate.
That's all right. That's okay. Someone else can have
I
him.
did think about Mac Jones, but he was probably
Lead him
one of the
up.
ones on that tier.
Yeah. I'm happy as that is my third QB. I'll take it.
I don't know what it is about Mac Jones. Every time I hear his name, I can't get Tom Jones out of my head. It's just a 3-letter name and then Jones. Yeah, I find it hard to separate the two sometimes. We got Sizzle on the clock. He's fresh off his Ryan Tannehill pick, and mate, he is a picture of concentration. A little Where's Wally going on there if he was, on a day off and he wasn't wearing the red and white.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going for?
Yeah,
going for the
let's
West
roll with
Wally?
that. I mean, why not?
A little bit more distinguished. Wally doesn't have a mo, does he? I mean, like you're
No,
upping
doesn't.
Wally's game.
Wally does, I thought. But
Does he
okay.
have a mo?
Um,
Well, for
is
some
this
of our viewers, it'll be
4-point
Waldo.
passing?
It's Waldo for some of our viewers.
This is 4-point passing touchdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might just play someone else in my super flex. I'll just play a receiver. Who cares? Full PPR. They'll probably outscore.
Kadero
a
Patterson if you're super
quarterback
flex,
anyway.
mate.
Mate, unless you got Cooper Cup, then I don't know. I don't know about that, Taylor. But yeah. Alexander Madison.
I think this is the play for Quinny. This is the perfect play.
I do have Justin Jefferson.
Quinny for Sizzle. God, why do I always get your name?
That's okay.
What's the matter with
Call
me?
Yeah, that's all
It's
right.
fine. It's fine. We're one and the
Alexander
same. One and the
Sizzle.
same.
We are a podcast.
Why
We
do
are
we- It's
together.
embarrassing. That's what this is
Yeah.
embarrassing. All right. I'm going to do the other thing that you shouldn't do this early just because I want to have
Kickers.
who I
Yeah.
assume
I
is the
knew it.
best of everything
Oh,
is I'm taking the fearsome
Oh,
McPherson.
And then McPherson.
Oh,
No,
Mate,
man.
Matty just put the
A
Q
better
in.
kicker than Tucker.
Oh, Taylor, man. I was going to take
Not even
Tucker.
the best
man.
kicker in his
I was
division.
going to
That
take
Tucker
Tucker
bloke.
on the time.
There you go. So I've started it.
Mate, he knows how I play.
I
Taylor
love
knows-
how I took a kicker before a second quarterback.
that's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
And I think Taylor would say, without a shadow of a doubt, that's advice for everybody who's playing 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
is
oh,
always
absolutely.
take your kicker before your second quarterback.
Absolutely.
I'm here considering a 4th quarterback, and Taylor hasn't got 2.
Yeah.
So-
Like I
and
said,
mainly
the
because
last-
Taylor has only got 1. That's why I'm considering a 4th.
Yeah.
it made no sense for me to take one 4 or 5 rounds ago, like because they're all the same to me. Honestly, everyone that's gone the last 5 QBs, I feel like the guys that are left feel the same to me.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we've got the Buffalo Bills going for Manjot there, and we're on the turn with only 2
Yes.
rounds to go.
Yeah, it's a kicker and someone else. So I'm going with. It's interesting because
What does he do?
pretty much everyone's kickers and defenses are kind of flying off, and I got the last overall pick, which is a very interesting spot to be in when you're in the last overall pick and you're the last of the first round. So it's just an interesting turn at the end. So I think just looking at offenses and everything, I think I'm gonna go with a kicker here. I think I'm gonna go with Carlson. Gonna smack that ass on.
Yes.
Taylor can say it. Taylor can
Smack
say it. I could take one
Do it,
victory
Tay.
over Taylor. That's what I can do.
You know you want to say it too, don't you, Tay?
Come on, Taylor.
No, it's. I'm too known for it, mate. Now it's too stale.
But what about Patterson?
Stay.
Does he? He took one. He's going to draft Fergus' son, and he's going to do it. That's what's going to happen here.
Evan McPherson.
He's going to handcuff his
I'm
tight
gonna
end before
go-
his second quarterback.
I was thinking about it, but I just don't really give a shit about defense. I'm taking Zach Wilson. Yeah.
There's his second QB. Smash
Boys.
that ass on.
He's throwing to the wide receiver 1 this year, Elijah Moore. So why wouldn't I get?
Man, Elijah went all the way in the 11th round.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Clearly
Yeah, I
the
just
second best
saw that.
Elijah M in the world. We've covered that before.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not sure there's such thing as a bad pick for me because I've already got the kicker and the defense out of the way. So now I can just go for whatever's left over. And I'm looking at these running backs, and I don't know. There's a
James
bad choice
Robinson.
between someone like James
Robinson.
Robinson or Damian
Yeah.
Pierce. Either of those guys could end up with a ton of work. I'm just going to go with the Jag.
Pick.
Man, you got the stack. You got the stack.
Taylor's got a budget stack. I've got an even budgeter stack with Lawrence.
Even budget.
And
That's a
Joe
drop.
Rob.
That's a
Give
drop.
me some coup.
What?
Give me some coup.
I don't
I'm-
even have a stack.
See, they all stop flying off the board once I start doing it. Oh,
No
we
stack.
took the Saints defense just for
Damn,
me.
I wanted to get the Saints D.
Straight there, man. Oh,
That's a killer. I'll just get these guys. I don't know why, but they're
Ravens?
not- or I'm
Ravens
D.
good.
Then Goggles goes next.
Gotta love him.
For Sizzle. I love Goggles.
Gotta
by the
love
way.
him. Love that pick.
He's
Sheesh, Quinny
rockin'.
Quinny just left the room.
Yeah, Quinny.
Ready, yeah, he's mic drop.
He's
He's out of
gone.
here.
Oh, he showers. Oh, he showers.
Is that enough?
Nice mic drop there, Quinny.
The best unowned player for me is Michael Gallup. And
Right,
that will
and
end my draft.
finish it off.
Taylor's got the Titans defense, or the Kittens defense, if they're playing anything like last year. And Manjot is going to wrap it up like a Vegeta.
Yeah. It's,
What's his name? Scott Vegeta? Was that his name? The linebacker for the Saints and
Yeah,
Seahawks?
Vegeta.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Vegeta. Yeah, I remember him.
Vegeta. Yep.
Vegeta?
Not Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, but Vegeta.
I was not sure when I woke up this morning I was going to get a Dragon Ball Z reference in my day. You saved me.
But there you go.
Thank you,
It's
brother.
happened.
Man, I just another thing I can rely on you for. This is it. We're
Look,
going to have
is
to
there
invite Quinny
anything
back
in the
all the
basket?
time.
Yeah.
As the final pick of the draft, is there
What if
any?
we
Yeah,
just
we're-
cut Taylor and invite Quinny in full stop? Would anyone,
Yeah.
everyone be all
That
right
sounds
with
good
that?
to me, mate.
Look, I took him my
Nah,
first
I
draft.
can't do that to Tay. He's got a great personality on the podcast. I can't do that to him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. To finish it off, I took him in my first in the first mock, which was a normal PPR. I think I'll take him again, Christian Watson from the Packers.
Yeah.
Just go with that extra, smack that ass son. He gets in that club
One
too.
more.
With Rodgers as well.
And
So,
Hawkins Son.
yeah, I've got the full Sun team.
He's got the
Yeah,
Son.
ready to smack Taylor's ass on. But taking all my picks from earlier. But yeah, we'll let the viewers decide once we run
Yeah.
through these teams. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. And I think that's
Solid
going to be the
teams.
next move. We're going to have to get everyone to talk about their team now that the draft is finished. And
Can
no
we
better
make this
spot
a
to start.
1 point passing touchdown league?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's better if we don't score touchdowns at all. What is?
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. But just
All of a sudden,
just
that
rushing
Lots of
yards-
scoring on.
Lawrence's value.
But rushing yards for Trey Lance. That'd be great.
Yeah, treble the rushing yards. Just for Trey Lance, no one else. Is that what going to do for you, mate?
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Manjot, myth, legend.
Who thinks they're going first this week? By the way, hands up.
It's Taylor.
Oh, you're wrong. It's you, man.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, okay. Man, that is just a load of information. Lot of dumping right there, man. Yes, you gotta go for them early and then trade them. I was feeling that sort of vibe from Taylor. Taylor nailed, I reckon. Yeah, as someone who's living the pain of the Jimmy G experience still, just trade that man, please.
I just realised he, basically had hamstrings made of tissue. That was great.
A lot like mine.
Anyway, back to Manjot.
How about me with my Peyton Manning jersey that I got for Christmas last year?
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
It's an upgrade, but he's not going to be so elite